I'm so cold.
Why is it cold in here?
It's cold everywhere. I cannot get warm. All right, ready?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Hey, welcome to Decaf, a weekly podcast by the Beacon Center. I'm Taylor, joined by Mark, our last episode before Christmas.
Yep.
And before the new year.
Yeah.
We will not be here next week. We are all going to go home to our respective homes and not be working next week.
Not the same home.
Merry Christmas to our respective homes.
Yeah.
So Merry Christmas to all, but we want to hit a few things before we go out of town. So I'm ready when you are.
Yep, let's go.
All right. So Brexit appears to be as of, when was the election in the UK?
Oh, gosh.
Last week, 2 weeks ago? I guess it was last week.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson won in a landslide, which if you follow what normal people are saying, you could have probably predicted that. If you follow what celebrities were saying, British celebrities, you would have thought that an AOC, you would have thought that he was going to go down. And then you started to see toward the end of the day when the exit polls were starting to roll out over there, you started to see, as a matter of fact, no, the people wanted to keep him in. And it's interesting. I'll let you kind of touch on why that was, but it was a very interesting, I think, potential indicator for what could happen in our elections in 2020.
You and Joe Biden, right?
Yeah.
As soon as that happened, Joe Biden told people, because Boris Johnson's, I mean, more or less, I think he's not exactly the same politically, but he's very similar to Trump. And like
just in his personality.
Outspoken,
Yeah.
It grinds you maybe a little bit the wrong way sometimes,
right.
but also pretty conservative, maybe
Yes.
not quite as. And then obviously Jeremy Corbyn, who's the Labour leader, is very socialist. I mean, he's kind of
so far left that Tony Blair apologized for him, and they were like, why? Tony Blair was like, why is this guy in charge?
And he's like, maybe he's to the left of even Warren and Sanders for our elections.
He's real left.
But what happened was, like you said, Johnson won a landslide, and Joe Biden came and said, hey, listen, Democrats, this is what's going to happen to us if we nominate, he didn't say their names, but he's like, if we nominate Sanders or Warren, this is going to be like what happened to us. We need to nominate somebody in the middle, which is obviously his plea to vote for him. But he was right to say that if they want to win this election, they can't go the same way as they and go super left.
Well, it is. I mean, it's a high indicator. I mean, think about it. You've got the UK choosing to go for a party that ran on a pro-Brexit platform. You've got Hong Kong choosing candidates that are pro-freedom.
Yeah.
I think that what we're seeing is while the celebrities and the academics and the elites are saying more socialism, more socialism, more socialism, workers and normal people who are paying taxes in these countries are saying, look, we might not love the candidates, we might not love Trump, we might not love Boris Johnson, we might not love these people, but we are kind of more in favor of these candidates that are going to promote freedom across the board.
And it's interesting because obviously the UK is much more liberal than we are as a country.
Very much more.
But it seems like a lot of Europe, not all of it, but a lot of Europe is kind of moving right, while at the same time we're moving left as a country. I mean, if you see the Democratic platform, like what these people are saying, Joe Biden would have been an extreme liberal 4 years ago. Now he's like the moderate in the party.
I know. Obama would not stand a chance.
Oh my God, no.
Right now.
And Mayor Pete, considered the moderate, would be very liberal by any government standard.
I know. So it's interesting global indicators for our election, like actual indicators, not like Russia or whatever, but like actual indicators based on how global politics is going, I think is going to be an interesting indicator for our election. Yep. Okay, moving on. Great timing to wrap that up. Okay.
Exactly the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, wow. So Beacon filed a new lawsuit this week, an exciting one. We, as everyone knows, we love transparency. We are big fans. I'm doing like a little heart.
If you're not watching on video, she's doing the heart symbol.
I'm doing a heart in my hand. It's like Justin Bieber. I'm sure you have a lot of insults for that. But we filed a new lawsuit that really stresses a transparency piece, specifically in organizations that are being funded by taxpayers that refuse to be open with their records. So what's going on is the Tennessee School Board Association is serving as the functional equivalent of government, essentially. They
claim to be private.
They claim to be private, but they are required by the state to be the organization that educates state school or local school board members. That and 90% of the organization is funded by taxpayer money. But when asked, they say we're a private organization and we don't have to comply with open records rules. Well, if you're the functional equivalent of government, and if you are mandated by the government to educate government people on what they're supposed to be doing, what makes it so that you don't have to be transparent?
Yeah, so it's like they're serving this government function.
Exactly.
Again, it's almost all paid for by taxpayers. And what happened was a woman sent a freedom of information request or open records request to get some information, and they said, no, we're not going to give it to you. So that's when kind of
And their reasoning for not giving it is because they were a private organization.
Right.
Well, they're 90% funded by taxpayer dollars, and they are educating school board members, and they're required to do so. School board members have to receive their training and education through the Tennessee School Board Association.
And it's the same as like, I talked to Brady, he says the same as like Economic Development Board.
Yes.
Or even CCA or any kind of private prisons have to do these same things. So this idea that they're exempt from this, it just doesn't make any sense. And it's not, I mean, if our tax dollars are paying for them, our taxpayers deserve to know where the money's going and how they're spending it.
Especially parents, if a parent wants to know how their kid is what their kid is being given by the school board, what kind of education, then they should know. It's just a transparency piece here, and so
it's not partisan at all. It's just like
no, it's just
you should
straight
know
up
whether
and
you're
down.
whether you're a socialist or a Tea Party person. You should be able to know what they're teaching.
Yeah,
the kids.
how the school board members are being taught and how they're being trained to then go onto the local level in schools, and
it could set precedent too, from what Braden said too, because there's a couple other organizations that are kind of like this that are quasi government but mostly government that kind of hide
operate as the functional equivalent.
Yeah, but they hide through the secrecy because they're private. So I mean, this could do a lot of different things to open this up so that taxpayers from Tennessee can see exactly how their money's being spent, and the transparency angle is so big for us.
And yeah, it's crucial. A lot of our lawsuits that we file do have a big piece as far as transparency, being able to know where your tax money is going, holding your elected officials accountable. So this is going to be a fun one to watch. If you are a parent and you want to know more about it or have something to say, let me know, because I get fired up on this one.
And it's on our website, and the Chattanooga Times Free Press wrote a great article this morning about it. So.
Yeah, so we feel pretty good about the trajectory of this one so far. Okay, so moving on to something pretty fun. Nashville is the music city, and but it's mostly, I won't say mostly country. There are great alternative bands that are here. There are great bands from all across the spectrum. But
most people know it for country.
Yes.
Though. Like when you say come to Nashville, it's like, I'm going to listen to country music.
But in June, some amazing bands are coming to Nashville. There is a classic rock tour that's coming through Nashville.
Well, what is classic rock? I think that this is I think it's like classic
this is like
hair bands,
Motley
right?
Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett,
Yeah, fun. Like
what a
80s
tour.
rock.
Yeah, 80s rock. As a matter of fact, I looked up the tour. $90 million in ticket sales was generated from this tour's first weekend of ticket sales.
That's amazing.
That's a lot of money.
None of those people have had hits in years. None of them have been relevant.
Exactly. And I'll get back to the fun part of it, but it does say a lot also, and I have to say this, it does say a lot for how our economy is doing, that so many people have discretionary income to spend on things like going to movies, Black Friday, concerts like this.
Yeah, no, you don't have to give me money to go to a concert like this.
Yeah, seriously. So
the fact people are paying for that really shows the economy.
Right. These tours are doing really, really well, and which just kind of goes to show, I think that there is a nostalgic element kind of in our age group. A lot of people in our age group are late 20s,
about
early
10
30s.
years older than us, I'd say.
Well, I mean, even in our age, I am excited to see how many of my friends go to this tour, but there is a nostalgic element in people of our age group who listen to this stuff in the car with our parents and now want to go see these bands in Nashville. But also, this is a heck of a tour that's coming through here. And so I wanted to ask Mark. Mark and I have very different tastes in music. I have a list of some of my favorite 80s bands.
Okay.
Let's hear some of yours. And I want to see if any of ours match. If any of ours match what I have 5 bands written here.
Okay, I bet they won't. If
I don't think they
had
will.
to guess.
Okay,
see, I really like the power ballads, which is like when those hair bands, like, I mean, Poison's on there, but when they sing like the romantic songs, like you have Kiss, Poison,
where they have like the music
Motley
videos
Crue.
of their hair blowing in the breeze.
Oh God, exactly. Yeah, on
the
top
montages fading in and out.
That's right. Exactly.
So like Fleetwood Mac is not your jam.
Gross. I hate no, I don't like them.
Aerosmith.
They're fine. They wouldn't make my top 5.
Did you have the Aerosmith Guitar Hero game?
No, I didn't play Guitar Hero.
What about Queen?
No, I don't like Queen.
The Cure?
No, I hate The Cure.
Oh
I think they're so overrated.
Bon Jovi?
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Okay, so we're one for 5.
I think Bon Jovi's a really good one. Yeah, see, I would go more with like some of the ones that maybe lasted. Like, I mean, Santana was the '80s, and they kind of have made it last.
That's true.
I always like
made it last.
I like more of the one-hit wonders, like "Come On, Eileen" by
do.
Dexys Midnight Runners.
Yes, that's a great song.
I know. And and look, and the power ballads, like Winger and all these. I mean, who should do that?
So you won't be going to this. What if your girlfriend wants to go?
If my what?
If your girlfriend wants to go,
I'm like,
no,
well, that makes sense.
Oh my gosh! If your girlfriend wants to go,
I think she has better taste than that, but who knows?
Oh my gosh,
she has pretty bad taste.
She can come hang out with you.
No, I would like to go. I would go to that. I think it'd be fun to see, and Tommy Lee will be there. So
okay, well, tickets for this go on sale January 10th. I didn't look, but I know they go on sale January 10th for Nashville. So
they might be 45 million each. That makes sense if 2 people bought tickets.
Yeah,
so
seriously. Oh Lord. So another thing, the last thing I want to talk about in the spirit of Christmas, Mark and I talk about movies a lot, and we talk about how we disagree a lot. But Christmas movies, I think that now around Christmas time, I can't think of any other holiday that has as many movies that people really get in the spirit of holiday movies.
And there's a lot of people really disagreeing because a lot of people like the old school ones or some newer ones.
Which I will say, I am, if we're going to give any podcast recommendations, I like to give podcast recommendations. Mike Rowe, his podcast, The Way I Heard It, he has one episode that is about a Christmas movie. And I'm not going to say what it's about because I want everyone to go listen to it. It's only 7 minutes long, but it's called 30 Minutes of Disappointing Television. And I'm going to leave it at that because it's the best. It's one of the best podcasts I've ever heard.
If it was audio, it could be just about our podcast.
That's true, seriously. But it's a great podcast. You should go listen to it in the spirit of Christmas. But again, I'm going to see where Mark and I match up on some of our favorite Christmas movies.
I bet we're not. So I will say that you're probably in the majority of this one. I think I'm in the minority because I don't like the old Christmas movies. I don't like the Christmas Story.
I mean, it's fair.
It's a Wonderful Life. I'm not into
You
those.
don't like It's a Wonderful Life?
It's not that I don't like them. I just
my
that's
gosh.
They're too old for me. It's hard to watch the black and white stuff.
That hurts me that you don't like It's a Wonderful Life.
I mean, it's fine. I don't hate it. I just like when I think Christmas movie, I think Christmas Vacation is clearly number one.
Well, yeah, it's hilarious.
Yes. I mean, but I like Four Christmases.
I love Four Christmases when they're playing Taboo.
Oh, God, so funny. And the mom's talking with her new boyfriend, talking about these sexual things.
So funny.
I know. That's okay.
Okay, that one's really funny. The Holiday.
Holiday's very good.
I watched it last night. I know every line of that movie.
And then hold up. So we talked about this a little bit, but what about Love Actually? That was so good.
Love Actually. I've watched it 3 times this season already.
Did you see Boris Johnson's Love Actually ad for Frank's?
It was amazing. It was so good,
and people loved it.
Talk about talking to the people who are your market. He really marketed so well to them.
And Britain's known more for that movie, internationally than probably any other. Maybe James Bond.
Seriously, that kind of Love Actually kind of set off that chain of the movies New Year's Eve.
God, they were all so bad
Day.
except for that one.
They're all terrible, but Love Actually is so good, and how they all tie together, kind of at the end. And the Prime Minister's sister. Anyway, it's just
can I bring up a Taylor Swift reference for you? I know you love it. But the best song she sings is from that Valentine's Day movie.
Which one?
Today's a Fairy Tale. I really like that song.
I love Today's a Fairy Tale.
I'm
a huge Taylor Swift fan.
I love that song from that movie, and that's why I watched it.
So good, so good. And she was with Taylor Lautner in that movie.
That's right.
Okay, what other Christmas movies do you like? We only have 20 seconds
Well, you
left.
pick yours. Is there? I
mean, The Holiday is my favorite. Okay, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version.
The new one. Oh,
and he says, "But what will I wear?"
That's Kira's favorite one too.
So funny.
She watched it about 5 times every year.
I made my own Jubilation I Heart Xmas sweatshirt, and I wore it with green tights like the Grinch one year.
That should be your Halloween costume next year.
That should be my hat. I would be a great Grinch. I'm usually pretty grumpy.
Yeah.
Gosh, let's end on I'm usually pretty grumpy. Well, that is our recap for the year. I guess 2019's been a big year for us.
Yep.
We had a great year at Beacon. We launched this. We didn't launch Overcaffeinated, but Overcaffeinated grew so much. We filed some great lawsuits, had some Beacon Impact RC4, had some great wins.
And our first year ever, so we track media hits, first year ever that we've gone over 1,000 big media hits. It's the first time ever for the year.
So we've had a really successful year. We are so thankful that you've been part of it. In the new year, our first episode of the new year, we want to do a recap of what happened in the teens because it'll be 2020. So because
I'll be seeing with Perfect Vision.
Perfect Vision. I have a lot of friends who are doing 2020 vision kind of things for the new year.
Funny.
So it's pretty cool. So from all of our team to your team, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all the holidays, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being part of all the success that we've had this year, and we can't wait to see you in the new year and see what comes of it.
Absolutely. And happy Hanukkah to any Jewish people out there.
All the holidays that you might be celebrating.
Anything.
Festivus.
Happy everything.
Happy everything, and we'll see you in 2020.